Don't miss a beat, join the notification squad by clicking that bell. You'll get notified every time I upload a video, and be sure to join our Discord to talk and get help with your code.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Source Code. My name is Alonso, and here we are in a new JDA video. I'm gonna be using JDA once more. In today's video, we're gonna make a verification system so you can link your Discord account with your Minecraft account in game, of course. You can use this as you want. I mean, you can use it for role sync, for roles synchronization, or you can use it just to verify and to have any role in your Discord account. Okay, so before we start, I need to say something. There are many ways to do this, so I'm just gonna make a way, maybe an easy way for you to understand it. It's pretty easy, I think, but it takes some time. I hope this video doesn't take more than maybe 20 minutes. I hope. I mean, so yeah, let's start. First, I need to say something. One more thing. The first thing is that we're going to listen for Discord message. We're going to listen also for comments made in the game. I mean, in game in Minecraft, and we're also going to listen to events in Minecraft, player join events. Okay, so first I need to say, maybe the structure of what we're going to do right now. First things, we're going to check if the player is online, the player you want to verify is online, and send a random code so you can use that code in game. To complete the verification process. Okay, so first we're going to listen to Discord message. I already did this in the last video, so I'm not gonna be explaining everything. We already extend listener adapter, so we're gonna use something like on guild message received, and the same as before. Again, if event get error is bot, or if event get error is fake, or if event is webhook message, we return because we actually don't care. What else? Strings, we're gonna need the args, string args, event that get message, get content raw, and split space. So if, for example, we use link arg, this one will be the first arg, this one the second one, the third and the fourth. Okay, so now let's check if the first arg, I mean if the command is link. Okay, so if args 0 is equal link, or equal in our case, link, we're going to do this. Okay, first I'm gonna verify my player using this link and the name of a player. To verify, I need that my player to be online. If the player is not online, I will not be able to verify. So first I'm going to check if args length is not 2, it means that if I use, for example, only link and I didn't specify a name, I will return. I'll return here, and I'm gonna send an error. Event get channel send message, maybe something like keep in mind that this will be sent in Discord. Okay, so I'm using Discord format. Error, you need to specify a player. Okay, so we know that we already specify a player. We need to check if the player is online. We're using the Spigot right now, so we can use something like player, player, target, Bukkit, get player, and we're going to use the name, which is the first one. The first one, because we are going to use something like, as I said, link Alonso Aliaga, which is my player name. And if target is null, it means that if the target is not online, we're going to send a new error, something like, for example, event.getChannel dot set send message. Okay, the same again. Error. The player is not online. And Q again. And now we know that the player is online, so we'll need to create a new code, and we're going to send well, actually, we're just going to generate a new code, a random code, so the player can verify in game, something like this. Okay. So right now the player is online. I will create a new code. I mean, a random code, a string random code, and you can do whatever you want. In my case, I'm gonna be using just a number with a letter. Okay, so I'm use random number, from maybe no, just this one plus, okay, plus AA. So the random code can be, for example, maybe this number, and this will be the generated code. You can do whatever you want, maybe a random UUID, maybe I don't know, it depends on you. So this will be the first code, the random code I will be using, and I need to store the player and the random code, so I can take it from there when the player use verify command. So I will create a new map here. I'm gonna be using hash map. I know I can use maps, but I'd rather using hash maps. I will add UUID and a string. Okay, so I will call this one UUID and code map. I will create a new one here, but this time I will be saving UUID of the player and a string again, but it's not going to be a code. It will be the user, I mean the member, Discord member ID. Okay, so I'm going to use UUID ID map, and I will have one more, but it will be a list only with the players that are verified. Import and verified members. I need to initialize those variables. UUID is equal to new hash map. UUID ID map is equal to new hash map also. And verified members is equal to new array list. Okay, so now I will be so now that we have, for example, this random code generated, we need to add our player ID to our player information, the map we already created. So we're going to do, for example, UUID code map, put target, get unique ID, and we're going to add the random code we already created. Once more, UUID ID map, put target, get unique ID, and this time we're going to use our Discord member ID, get ID. Okay, so now we have, for example, saved our random code and our member ID. Okay, so we can now, for example, send a message to the player, event that get outer, it's a user, so we can open a private channel if we don't have it open. Complete, and now we can send a message to that um, private channel. For example, something like, "Hey, uh, your verification code has been generated. Has been generated. Break line. Use this command in game." Okay, so we have this one here. Keep in mind that I'm using Discord format. Okay, so we're gonna use the random code we already generated and we store also. So the command the player will use in game will be verify space plus the random code we generated. Okay, so keep in mind that this message will be sent to the Discord account. Okay, so the player can copy that and paste it into the game. Okay, so okay, we're done here, I think. Oh, one more thing, we need to verify if the player has or doesn't have the verified role. So the player cannot verify twice. I mean, for that we're going to check if the member has the role verified. Okay, so if event get member, in this case get roles, I'm gonna be using lambda. Okay, so you can use lambda or you can use just a for loop, but I'm gonna be using lambda because I'm using Java 8. Yep, so I'm gonna filter this one role. If you don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to say. So filter get name is equals to the verified, because the name of the role is verified. I'm gonna find any or else null. Wait, still redundant. No. What it means? It means that if, for example, I'm gonna get the roles of the member, I'm gonna filter those, and I'm gonna look for any role called verified. If I find anyone, it will return something, I mean a role, and otherwise it will return null. So it means that if this statement is not null, it means that the member has the role or any role called verified. Okay, so I'm gonna return here because the player is already verified, and I'm gonna send a message to the channel event get channel send message and something like error. I'm gonna use my name, error get author get as mentioned, error, you are already verified, so I cannot verify again, and we return here so the code doesn't continue. Okay, so now we need to listen to the command the player will use in game. Okay, so now we're going to implement command executor, because we're going to use a command in game, and we're going to implement methods here. So here we have I usually change this to sender, this one to CMD, this one to label, and this one to args. Just me. Okay, you can ignore that process. Other step, return true. Okay, so now we're going to listen to verify a command. So we need to register that command first. We come here and we use plugin get command verify it set executor. This is basic. You should know this one. We already registered Discord event and command. We also we also implement the listener, Bukkit listener, so we can use events here, and we also use plugin, get server, get plugin manager, register events, this, and plugin. You should know this already. Okay, so the player will use an example, something like verify and random code. Okay, because we have that here. So we need to listen if the player is using, for example, if the player is using just the command without args, or if the player is using more than one argument. So if args length is not 1, we're going to send a message to the player, and we will say, for example, first we're going to check really quick if the sender is a player. Okay, so sender instance of player, we return and we send the message sender send only players can execute this command. Okay, so if the console execute this command, he will receive this message and he will not be able to verify because he's not a player. So now that we know he's a player, we can cast it. Player is equal sender, and we cast sender. So if our length is not 1, it means that if someone types only verify, or maybe verify 1, 2, 3, or even 1, 2, it will cause an error. So we're going to say, for example, player send a message incorrect or usage verify, and here we use, for example, code or random code or whatever, so the player knows how to use the command. So now that we have, for example, the string, now that we have, for example, 2 arguments, okay, we need to check if the arguments are, if the code is the same that we saved before when the player used the command link. Okay, first we need to check sorry, I forgot something here. If when the player tries to verify, we add his unique ID in our maps here. So we need to check if the player is in that map. Otherwise, the player doesn't have any pending verification process. So UUID code contains key player get unique ID. If our map doesn't contain player UUID or player's unique ID, it means that the player doesn't have any verification process, any pending verification process, so he cannot verify. So we're going to return here, and we're going to send them an error message here in red. Not pending process, not pending verification process. So the player cannot verify because he doesn't have, he doesn't have a code, or a random code. So now we know the player has a verification process, a verification process in process, and that he has entered a code here. So now we need to check if the code here, the code is correctly. So we use a string actual code UUID code map get player get unique ID. So we have the actual code, and we can check now if the actual code is equal to the R1 the player entered. Sorry, the arg0 the player entered. Because keep in mind that this is the arg0, okay, not 1, because we're using Java. Okay, so if it's correctly, we can verify here. Else, No, we can just use this one here. It's not equal. We're going to send an error message. Return true, of course, and we're going to say player send message, something like I know, maybe code is not valid. Check again. Okay. Otherwise, we will verify here the player. We're going to send a message to the player, which means that the player has verified correctly. You have verified correctly. You have been verified correctly. Okay, so now it should work right now, but we're going to add two more things. I mean, I want a new role to be added to the player when they verify, and also I want to use, for example, maybe the name from the player. I mean, my name from the member, uh, from Discord member, to appear here. Okay, so I'm gonna be using, for example, a string Discord ID. I mean the Discord user ID. Keep in mind that we store that in this map, UUID ID map, and we use the player unique ID as key, so we can get it from here. If okay, now I need to use the guild where we have the player. So I will create a new one here, guild, because I guess this will be only for your server, so I don't think there will be more than one guild. Guild, and I'm gonna initialize guild from here. Okay, so I'm gonna use JDA, get guilds, and get the first one, which is 0. I shouldn't get any error here, but for some reason I think I was getting an error. I don't remember why, so I'm gonna add a delay here. Bukkit, get the scheduler, run task later. It was, yeah, run task later, login, and I'm gonna have now this one here. Okay, and it will be, for example, maybe 25 seconds later. Okay, so this is lambda. If you don't know what it is, it's just lambda. It's like if I use, for example, new runnable or new bucket runnable, and that's it. I'm just using lambda, which is faster for me at least. Okay, so now it means that in 5 seconds after the class is initialized, I should get the first guild from my JDA, okay, which is my test server, because I don't have any other servers. I don't have the bot in any other server. So I can use now guild, and I will get, or I will try to get the member using my ID. What do I mean? I mean member, my target member is equal my guild get member by ID, and I will use the Discord ID I got from the map I saved. Okay, so I have the target. I need to check now if the target is in my server. I mean, if the target is null, it means that he's not in my server anymore, so I cannot give him a role. And if he's in my server, I can add the role to his member. So if target is null, it means that he left my server. So I return here, return true, and I will send an error to the player, something like error. It seems that you left our Discord server. Just that, and I'm gonna remove the name from the map. the entries from the maps. I will use code map, remove, player, get unique ID, and same from here. So okay, we're here, so it means that the member is still in our server, and that we can, for example, add a role to his to the member because he's still a member. So so now we're going to use guild. No, first we're going to use yeah, first we're going to need to get the role verified role is equal to guild, because we already have the guild, get roles by name, verify it, and we're going to ignore, no, we're not going to ignore cases, and 0. Okay, so it will look for any role in my guild called verify it, and it will get the first one. Okay, I know there is a role there, so it will not throw any error. But if you are not sure, you should check if you have any. I mean, if your list from here is at least. I mean, if the length is higher than 0, otherwise you will get an index array exception. I remember. So I can get, for example, no, I can add now the new role to the member. So I will use guild get controller add single role to member. I'll need to specify the member and also the role that we already have here, and of course use q. So this will add the new role to the member, so he will be verified. And now I can say you have been verified correctly. You link your account with member, and I will mention the member. In this case is target get user get name plus this here, and target get user get discriminator. We have yeah, so I will receive that message in game, but I want to send a new message also to the member, that to the Discord member, I mean. So I can use, for example, target get user open private channel complete and send message. I'm gonna send a message something like yeah, white check mark, and keep in mind that I'm using Discord format. Verification successful, verification successfully. You have linked your account with MC account, and I will send my player name, which is player get name, and I'm gonna use Q. Don't forget never to do that, otherwise the message will not be sent. Or will not be sent, sorry. Oh, I actually forgot something. I need to remove also from the map here. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the map here, and I'm gonna add my player to the verification members list. So verified member, sorry, add player get unique ID. So now now I verified everything, but there was something else I wanted to do. Something like, for example, if we restart the server, we will lose everything. I mean, the verified members will start from 0, and so we need to make the data persist after restart. You can use whatever you want. You can use SQLite, maybe MySQL, JSON file. I don't know. I'm gonna be using, in this case, YAML file, okay, YML file, which I have here data. It's empty right now because I didn't wrote anything. I mean, I didn't write anything yet, so I'm gonna be using that. This is my main class. I've modified it a bit, my class, just to create a new config. I will leave this in the description in our GitHub, so you can copy it from there. So what it means that when the server starts, it will look for uh, a file called data.yml. If the file doesn't exist, it will create a new one. It will save it from the jar file, and it will load it. Okay, so the player data will be a new jam configuration. Okay, so it's public, so I can use it from my class here. So after the verification process has been successfully, I mean, we need to save the data in our jam file, so we can take it from there when a player joins or when we restart the server. To do that, as I said, I already have my jam file and my file configuration. So I'm gonna use plugin that player data set data, and I will save it using my player unique ID. Okay, so unique ID, and the value I'm going to save will be, for example, the Discord ID. So it will be something like, for example, data a UUID, and here we have the Discord ID. It will be something like this. So every time some player verified, I will get the same thing. Whoops. Yeah, I will get the same thing. UUID 2, UUID 3, and so on. I'll delete this one. So now, I think I should. Oh, I forgot to save plugin data. Save plugin. No, plugin data. Okay, so it will throw an error, so I need to try and catch. Okay, so when a player verifies his account, I will save his data into my database, which is data.yml. So I can check, for example, I made a check here to check if the player has the verified role, but I can check here also if the player is already verified or not. I can use, for example, if plugin my file configuration contains data dot player get unique ID to string return true. What it means? It means that if, for example, we have data here and my UUID of my player is registered, I mean it is in the file, it means that I've already verified, so I cannot verify it again. So I will be sending an error message to player. It says send message, sorry, you are already verified. Same we did here. You're verified. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do is that when the player joins the game, I mean the server, we need to add him to the list of verified members, just to have a list. I mean, just to have a list of verified members, so we can use it maybe for the next video. On join, player join event, I will use, no, I'm gonna check if player data contains the same that here contains data dot event get player get unique ID to string. It means that I can, for example, add the player to my verified member list. Get player get unique ID. Okay, so if my if if the server can find my UUID of my player that joined the server in the data, I will add my unique ID to the list of verified members, so I can have it there. Okay, so this should be working right now. I think I'm gonna test it out right now. So I'm gonna build artifacts, build. I'm gonna copy this one here, and I'm gonna start the server right now. So I will open Minecraft here, and I will also open my Discord here. Okay, so the bot should be online right now. Bot is online now. I will remove my roles. I mean, I have a role here verified because of my test. Okay, so now, where is the console? Console is here. Well, we have an error here, and 24. I think it's because of the no wait, error is in 24. 24 maybe. Okay. 40. Oh yeah, I forgot something, guys. Sorry about that. Comments. You need to register the comments always. Don't forget to do that. Verify. Usage verify. And let's add also a description here. Description comment to verify. Okay, now we can export it again. My bad, sorry. And I'm gonna reload the server. Okay, enabling. Whoops, we have an error here. 14. Verify. Verified. Yeah, I knew that. Verify. Okay, so now we shouldn't have any error now. I hope. And we can reload the server once more. Okay, I think we don't have any error here. Being disabled. Okay, here. Plugin has been enabled. I don't think so. GDA disable. I think so. I think plugin was enabled correctly. Yeah, it's here. Enable plugin enabled. Okay, so now let's test our plugin. I'm gonna write something here. For example, hello. We shouldn't have any error in console. And if we type, for example, link error, you need to specify a player. And if I, for example, specify link Alonso Aliaga, it will say error, the player is not online. So I need to log in the server. Now I am online. Okay, now online. So I can verify now. Link. As you can see, I received a new message from the bot. So I open the bot here. I have a random code here. Those are from test, I know. And I have a code here. Give me a second. I want you to check the role I received. As you can see, I don't have any role here, any verified role here. So if I, for example, use verified, I mean the code I received, I will receive, for example, verified role here. I will receive a message here. You have been verified correctly. You link your account with the member Alonso Aliaga in my discriminator. And I will also receive a message from the bot. verified successfully. You have linked your account with MC account alone usuario. Okay, so it means that I have verified my account. If I, for example, join and leave the server, I will still be in this list, so I can use that list maybe for the next video. I was thinking about maybe making a role synchronization tutorial. Really, I mean, an easy one, just like this one. I know there are many ways to do this. Maybe some of you rather using managers instead of using maps here. So yeah, I hope you really guys enjoyed the video. I don't know how much time it took, but it's okay. So I hope you really guys enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please don't forget to rate the video and subscribe for new videos. And suggest me in the comment section what are tutorials you would like me to use. As I said, for the next video, I was thinking about using JDA maybe once more to make a role synchronization system, so you can synchronize some roles from in game to the roles in Minecraft. Ranks to roles. And for the next video, I was thinking about using some disguise API, but I don't know. It's still as an idea. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like, please hit the like button. So I think I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.